Lydia served with her resources and her influence. She was a very influential woman who was instrumental in the Macedonian ministry of Paul. She lived in the city of Philippi, and it was the first city that Paul ministered in after he had received that spiritual call to come over to Macedonia to help us. And Lydia was the first convert in Macedonia, or in what is called Asia Minor. When Paul's ministry is moving out, this is the first convert that Paul has, a woman called Lydia. And let's read her story in Acts of the Apostles chapter 16, verse 11 to 15. Acts chapter 16, 11 to 15. Therefore, sailing from Troas, we ran a straight course to Samothrake, and the next day came to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is the foremost city of that part of Macedonia, a colony. A lot of details there. And we were staying in the city for some days. On the Sabbath day, we went out of the city to the riverside, where prayer was customarily made. And we sat down and spoke to the women who met there. Now a certain woman named Lydia heard us. She was a seller of purple from the city of Thyatira, who worshiped God. The Lord opened her heart to heed the things spoken by Paul. And when she and her household were baptized, she begged us, saying, if you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and stay. So she persuaded us. She was the head of a household. That implies that she was a single woman. She was a single woman. There's no record of a man in her life. Single woman. So let's look at a few things about Lydia. Her ministry is very different from Anna and from Dorcas. The first thing you note about Lydia is that she's enterprising. She's a resourceful businesswoman. She's a seller of purple, which was a very special trade in her day. It was very unusual for a woman to be in that kind of business. It was a high-level business because purple was a highly prized dye that was used for making special clothes. Purple was the attire of nobility. So she was enterprising. She was jostling with men in business. She obviously had developed a lot of entrepreneurial skills. She had become a very influential person, obviously successful in what she was doing. She was very enterprising. And if you would notice, she was fervent. She was fervent, spiritually fervent. She opened her heart to the Lord. The Bible says that she used to go to the riverside where prayer was made. So here is a woman who is an entrepreneur and was also prayerful. So she goes to the riverside to pray. And the Bible also says that she worshiped God. She is not a Jew, but somehow knows about God and has a heart for God and has a heart for prayer. Doesn't have the full truth, but was passionate about what she was doing. She was entrepreneurial and she was very fervent. It was in this place at the riverside where the Bible says the women of the city go to pray. If it was in Ghana, it would be maybe a park in the neighborhood, some other place around that people go to pray. And you always find Lydia there, the businesswoman who is fervent in heart, praying. And it is in this place that she heard Paul preaching about Jesus for the first time. And when she heard the things that Paul was preaching, the Bible says she opened her heart. Of all the people at that place, she's the only one mentioned as opening her heart to the gospel. Now remember that this is the first time anybody in that area is hearing about a man called Jesus who died and rose again from the dead. They've never heard about him. They know about the God of the Jews, but don't know about Jesus. But she hears about Jesus and she says, that's it. This is what I've been praying for. My heart recognizes this is it. And she opens her heart to the gospel. But she's prayerful, she's enterprising. And the third thing, which I like very much about Lydia, is that she is influential. She offered her home to the Lord. She's the head of a home. She's the head of a home. In a time when men were the natural family heads, it is very interesting to find a woman as head of her household. She's an independent woman. She's a woman of great means. She has a lot of money. She's influential. How do I know she's influential? She got her whole house to receive Christ. In other words, after she received Christ, she said to everybody in her household, I take care of all of you and you live in my home and you are going to believe what I believe. That's Lydia for you. She's one of those women you will call controlling. But it's a positive controlling. She's not going to go to heaven and leave you to go to hell by yourself. She says, if it's good for me, it's good for you. I've been paying your fees. You better believe what I believe. So she opens her home and everybody in her house receive Christ and is baptized. That tells you her influence. And not only in her home, but her salvation opened the door to the city of Philippi, and also to the whole of Asia Minor. She is a woman who started a process that affected the rest of the world just by her salvation. That is what you call influence. But the interesting thing about her is that she's a head of a household. If she was married, her husband would be the head of the household. She would not be mentioned as the head of the household. But she is the head of the household. She is wealthy. She is prayerful. She is influential. And she opens the door for the gospel to a whole region. Maybe there is a Lydia here. Maybe there is a Lydia. You may not be the one who does things for people and pay people's little fees here and there and make clothes for them. You may not be the one who always attends church and is in every service. But you may be a Lydia who is a business person, who is influential. You come to church on Sundays. We don't see you on weekdays. That's fine. But you open the door for the gospel. You open the door for the gospel to your community, to your district, to your village, to your town, to the people you influence, and to your household. That is Lydia. And in my book, Lydia is a spiritual mother. She's a spiritual mother. She's like Anna, but different. She's like Dorcas, but different. She is a different kind of a woman. There are three women we've looked at. We've looked at Anna, and there are some of you who desire to be like Anna. We've looked at Dorcas. Some of you want to be like Dorcas. We've looked at Lydia. And some of you say, oh yeah, that's me. That's me. I can almost see myself. Lydia, the last woman we're going to look at.
We believe this video was helpful. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section down below. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.